dated overviews. Far outnumbering works by historians, however, are those by an assortment of popular writers, occultists, enthusiasts, and a few hucksters that recapitulate a variety of clichés, misconceptions, historical errors, and baseless opinions, rather than presenting the current state of knowledge about the subject. Most such books link alchemy in various ways, both favorable and unfavorable to religion, psychology, magic, theosophy, yoga, the New Age movement, and perhaps most often to loosely defined notions of the occult. Without guidance, it thus proves extremely difficult for even the most intrepid seeker to emerge from such a labyrinth with any clear or sound conclusions about the true nature of alchemy. So, what is alchemy? Who were the alchemists, and what did they believe and do? What were their goals, and what did they accomplish? How did they envision their world and their work, and how were they seen by contemporaries? These are the main questions I explore in the following. My goal is to provide a reliable guide to the various secrets of alchemy. A comprehensive history of the subject would not only run to unreadable length, but would also be premature, since scholars still have much to learn about it. I present instead only an introduction that can serve as a solid foundation for further inquiry. My chief motivation, then, in writing this book has been to make some of the enormous wealth of recent discoveries about alchemy accessible to a wider audience. While alchemy has always been considered secret and privileged knowledge, perhaps the best-kept alchemical secret of our day is how radically our understanding of the subject has changed during the last 40 years. Alchemy is now a hot topic among historians of science. Books and manuscripts that have lain unread for centuries are now being read again, and their contents more accurately understood in historical context. We are learning more about alchemy every day. Yet much of this new information has remained inaccessible to most because it is published in specialist literature and in multiple languages, more often than not in languages other than English. The result has been that most popular writing about alchemy repeats the same mistaken notions over and over again, perpetuating errors that were satisfactorily and convincingly corrected in the scholarly literature as much as 80 years ago. I believe that interested listeners deserve much better. I wrote The Secrets of Alchemy to function on two levels. In the main body of the text, I keep the non-specialist, the general listener, and the student in mind. No prior knowledge of alchemy or specialized knowledge of the history of science is necessary to understand it. Some familiarity with chemistry will help in Chapter 6, but it is not crucial. I have strenuously avoided making this book a who's who of alchemy. Many practitioners of the discipline, including some important ones, receive only passing mention, or even none at all, a fact that might disappoint some. I chose instead to focus on a small number of important characters, each of whom represents a major trend or feature within alchemy. Listeners will thus gain a deeper familiarity with the thinking of a few foundational figures who can act as reckoning points within the long alchemical tradition, rather than coming away with a superficial overview of many characters. Alchemy's periodization and the structure of this book. Historians of science customarily divide the history of Western alchemy into three main chronological periods: the Greco-Egyptian, the Arabic, and the Latin European. The Greco-Egyptian and later Byzantine period, which stretches from the 3rd to the 9th century, set alchemy's foundations and established many features that would characterize it for the remainder of its life. The Arabic or Islamic period, 8th to 15th century, sought out this Greek heritage, and then massively augmented it with fundamental theoretical frameworks and a wealth of practical knowledge and techniques. Thus, when alchemy arrived in medieval Europe, it came as an Arabic science, its lineage signaled by the Arabic definite article al, affixed to the word itself. It was thereafter in Europe that alchemy saw its greatest flowering and largest following. After its establishment in the High Middle Ages, 12th to 15th